You lifting off right away, or do you need a little bit of time?
Scan complete. Welcome to Mars. You are cleared to land in Sidonia.
bet I've spent more time exploring the Martian surface than roaming around Sidonia itself.
On the hull, multiple leeches in the grav drive.
Suppose that would explain the brownouts. So, what's this going to run?
If there are no other surprises, mid-5 figures.
5 figures? 5? Fine. Do it. I'll be at the bar. Find me when it's done.
We're on it, sir.
Moving Sidonia completely underground. Careful down near the mines and enter any active sites at your own risk.
Yeah, do you have any idea how far?
I sure hope this hearing loss isn't permanent.
I heard they found another new fresh
Can't
water
say I'm a
deposit
fan
in
of
one the
excitement and
mines.
drama around here.
So much better than paying those ridiculous...
He ain't been around. Went off on patrol. Hasn't been back in since. We're starting to think it might be time to pour one out to the blackest sea. Got another word for it?
He means outer space.
Ma'am. Believe me, I've heard it. After about round 3 or 4 was all he would talk about. And he's got a voice that carries. Look, nothing more I'd love than to help out a fellow Martian. Especially one that's missing. But,
He has a tab, and you don't know if he's coming back.
it's a lot of credits, okay? I let it slide for a long time because he's a regular, but if I'm out all that money, I got problems. What do you say?
No, I've done this routine. Let's skip to the part where you admit you're lying about what he owes.
You calling me a liar? I'll throw both of you out of this bar right now.
Oh, please. 2 strangers arrive from off-world asking for information only you have. You see an opportunity. Everyone always does. Lower the price. Don't think we can't find another way to get what we want.
Fine. Come on. Life on Sidonia ain't hard enough. You gonna guilt trip me? Yeah, I get your point. Maybe. All right, I give up. Just trying to earn a living here. Last time he was here, Moira kept yelling about the Lady of Love, singing songs, all that kind of thing.
Venus? That's only one planet. Hardly an entire patrol route.
I got what I got, okay?
Fine. We'll make do.
Forget it. Let's get out of here. Maybe it's not too late to catch a ride back.
I could use a break.
You look
trees. I can't imagine being cramped down here, choking on the fumes and the dust. No trees, no grass. It's depressing.
Caution. Subterranean particle detonation imminent. Be advised to secure loose articles and find stable ground or remain seated in the event of unforeseen tremors. Detonation occurs in 5, 4, 3.
Mining's
2,
fair work, but you can't
1.
take it all so seriously, otherwise tell your mates. We're pulling rocks out of the ground, not building spaceships. Welcome, welcome. Nice to meet you. Name's Trevor, mining director for the Deimos mining project here in scenic underground Sidonia. I could spare a minute or two to chat, so long as you're not looking for mining work, I suppose. Not so bad for one of the oldest mines in the settled systems. We struggle with the lack of decent equipment, but we work hard and make up for it. As I'm sure you know, we're responsible for supplying resources to Deimos Star Yards, which in turn is responsible for supplying UC naval vessels. That, among other major projects, makes us one of the United Colony's most important mining operations. The prestige and pay that comes with it almost makes up for being stationed at the arse end of the settled systems in the middle of nowhere. Yep, that's me. Joined up with Deimos when I was just 17 as a mining gopher. Go for this, go for that, you know how it is. I worked hard, proved myself capable, and got the promotion to mining director about 6 years ago, after the old boss retired. Some of the older guys resent me, but I give everyone a lot of leeway as long as they meet their quotas. So that keeps them happy enough. Oh, that! Oh, nothing to worry about. We do fracking on Mars with subterranean particle detonations. Those announcements are just to let people know when to expect them. Now, you probably felt the rumble when the detonations actually go off. That's all it is. Not too bad, eh? Basically, it's high-tech mining. We use immensely powerful controlled particle detonations deep underground to loosen up subterranean gases and other difficult-to-gather resources so we can harvest them. Sounds way more dangerous than it is. Probably. Actually, it's still pretty dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, no worries, mate. I can totally see how it'd be odd if you're not used to it. Just sit down, or be sure you're within reach of something to hold on to if the quaking makes you uneasy, and you'll be fine. Argos, huh? Yeah, I've heard of them. That's great, but yeah, unfortunately, all our mining contracts are filled right now. Unless, maybe you could help me out with a job, off the books. I love the enthusiasm. Now do yourself a favor and get to know some of the miners. It'll remind you what you're doing this for. Anyway, I'm getting off track. See, you might have noticed that our equipment ain't exactly holding together like it used to. Problem is, we can't get new equipment unless we start exceeding our quotas. And we can't do that until we get new equipment. A real dilemma, right? I've got a plan for solving our little problem, though. Okay, glad you're still on board. First, I need someone from the outside to bolster our yields so we can prove that we can exceed our quota. I'll fill you in on the rest of the details after you've hauled up some ore. One standard quota should do. I need to know I can trust you with the easy stuff first. Don't you think I want to? Corporate sets the contracts and they're not giving out anymore, so we work with what we've got. Something to do with insurance, benefits, and other liabilities, so I don't make the rules. Of course not. I'll pay you out of my own pocket. I care about my miners, even if corporate doesn't understand our struggles down here. I'm willing to put in some sacrifices to help. That's just the kind of guy I am. If I had the credits to buy all the equipment myself, I would. But this is the next best thing. When you've got enough, drop it off in the bin over there for processing. Then come see me.
Particle detonation concluded. It is now safe to resume normal activity.
I can't imagine being stuck on rocks for a living when there's an entire universe to explore.
If you are looking for spare parts,
careful near the railings on the upper levels. It's a long way down.
Any clue how irresponsible you're acting right now?
Okay, that ore you mined is really gonna bolster our numbers. Great. Now, the next part is a little trickier. Our Director of Mining Operations, Peter Brennan, fired his last assistant over a month ago. Peter's the only one who can approve the order for new equipment, and unfortunately, he's useless without an assistant. I think I've got a surefire way for you to get that job. Then you, as his assistant, can get him to sign off on the approval. We just need you to take the job until we get the approval signed. Then you can quit, keep it, or do whatever. It's not as bad as it sounds. Worst case scenario, you may have to go fetch some stuff for him and go over his messages. It'll be easy, I promise. You don't think I've tried? Like I said, the guy is literally useless without his assistant. I don't even know if he knows how to actually use a computer. And everything Deimos does is so mired in bureaucracy because of their contracts with the UC. Which means, unfortunately, we need to do all the things by the book if we want them done at all. Now hold on, it's not that easy. You'll need to apply for it like anyone else. Head to the Deimos Star Yard's office up in orbit to fill out the application. It's where that job is posted. Come back and see me when you've done that, and we'll talk about how to secure the position for you.
You're jumping through a lot of hoops to get those miners the equipment that they need.
warm up the engines?
so we should watch our step.
When humanity
Welcome to Deimos.
Build some of the toughest ships in the settled systems. That's probably why the UC Navy continues to contract with them to this day.
when the UC defended itself from the Crimson Queen.
While we're here, we should definitely stock up on supplies at the exchange.
Don't worry, trust me. This is the best shot we've got at getting that request approved. Okay, now we need to ensure you get hired. Basically, we'll need to make sure you're the only choice. To do that, you'll need to get access to the HR terminal in the corporate office upstairs on the main level. If you delete the other applications from the system, you'll be a shoo-in. Believe me, if you knew Tia, you wouldn't worry. I'll be honest, she's so overworked and behind in her tasks that I don't even think she knows there are any applications. That's a good point, though. Once your application is in, I'll ping her and ask her to take a look to see if any applications came in for me. That should get her to finally take a look. See yours, and if all goes well, she'll hire you on the spot. I happen to know that the HR director, Tia, and the other women in the office tend to go to the Broken Spear for happy hour at 5 every evening. That's your window of opportunity. That's the spirit! Believe me, this is gonna help everyone. By the way, the HR password is password spelled backwards, which Tia thinks is pretty clever. She gets talkative during happy hour, and loud. Surprised everyone doesn't know her password, honestly. Anyway, should be pretty easy. Good luck.
Did you know Deimos makes the majority of the ships for the UC Navy? If you ask me, that's a hell of a lucrative contract.
Don't worry, trust me. This is the best shot we've got at getting that request approved. And I can say that I've got some good news for you. I just saw the company message go out that you've been hired as Peter's assistant. Congratulations. They won't. I'll tell you a little secret. No one really cares too much. I'm not saying anyone's bad at their job, just that everyone's too busy and overworked to care. Seriously. No worries, mate. I've been here long enough to know how they operate up there. Not really, and neither should you. Either those applications were old and those people have moved on, or as soon as you disappear after this, they'll get to hiring again. Next step should be easy. Just go to work for Peter, and when you get access to his terminal messages, you'll see my request. All you've got to do is approve that request, and we'll be right on with it. Then, we can get that new equipment and show corporate how it's done.
We outperformed our projections for the third straight. Oh, you're finally back. I feel like you've been gone for ages. Do you know how tough this job is without an assistant? What happened to the old one? You know what? Never mind. They told me you were a strong candidate for this job. So, I'm looking forward to seeing how well you do. Well, enough chit-chat. Let's get to work. Not quite. I need you to do something much more important before you get to that. I'm expecting a personal shipment. I'm not sure why, but the last time this happened, my assistant ended up speaking to Governor Hurst about it. Now, run off and get it for me. I don't know. At first I thought I had multiple assistants that rotated in and out, but it seems I've only ever had one at a time and they all just stopped showing up. I believe my last assistant was supposed to get me some coffee, but never came back. I honestly wasn't listening to whatever they were crying about. Oh, do they cover nothing in orientation anymore? No, strike that. We got rid of orientation, didn't we? Anyway, it's not important. Your job is easy. You do what I ask, and that's pretty much it. I'm surprised you've forgotten that all right, no assistant. I keep forgetting. I could, but we'd be wasting valuable time, so no. What's in the shipment? A good assistant knows it's not their place to ask. Bad assistants get fired. Mediocre assistants get... You know what? I forgot where I was going with this, but it doesn't matter. Just get it for me, will you? Also, I don't quite remember. But it is important, that I know. Have a good one.
Be careful down near the mines, and enter any active sites at your own risk.
Got something on your mind, love?
I'd love to chat more, but I'm expecting a message any minute from the Trade Authority. You know how it is with these big businesses, am I right?
Ah, hello. Welcome. I don't usually have time to speak with random people off the street, but I'd be happy to help if it's something quick.
What can I do for you?
Something important, huh? Well, lay it out for me.
Well then, you've been quite busy making a name for yourself, haven't you? Oh, it's okay. You can drop the act with me.
Interesting. It appears Governor Hurst is well aware of our exploits.
If by exploits, you mean what your friend is doing for Sidonia, and not your work for Constellation, Ms. Morgan, you're right on the money. So look, I admire a go-getter like yourself. You're not in trouble unless you make trouble. And I don't think you're the type.
I know you're not really Mr. Brennan's assistant. I don't know exactly what you're up to, but I have little reason to suspect you're up to no good. So let's cut to brass tacks. What can I do for you? Oh, I know exactly what happened to that shipment. However, I suspect Mr. Brennan neglected to tell you that I'm holding it due to his immense backlog of unpaid taxes. Then again, he may be unaware. Look, I'll tell you what. I'll release that shipment for you. But I'm going to need a favor first, since you seem to be adept at keeping quiet. See, my personal spacecraft was stolen, likely by Crimson Fleet pirates. I need someone to find it. Then I need that someone to destroy it. Discreetly. I need tight lips on this. Oh, it's a few reasons. I don't want this mired in their process. Also, it's a bit of an embarrassment for a sitting governor to lose a ship. So I'd rather that not get out. I'm sure you understand. Well, this is a tricky situation indeed. Not to get bogged down in details, but assuming this is the work of pirates, it's best to destroy the ship and everybody on board. Makes it cleaner for insurance purposes. Then we have an agreement. I'll send you to the ship's last known location. Remember, not a word of this leaves this room.
How are things
The miners can see.
Right, Captain. Where are we headed next?
Well, shit, hold on. Maybe we can make a deal. We've got something you might find interesting. And if that doesn't do it, we've got creds. All you have to do is come aboard. Yes. Come aboard. Just don't try anything stupid. I'm sure you know how that will go.